Hey everyone, it's Aiden. I'm here with Teen X. I'm really excited to be here with you all today. I'll start off by introducing myself. I am Aiden Mcnally. I'm the co-founder of Relief Alliance, the president of Wealth Strategy Media, and I also help spearhead the youth group here at Teen X. So I'm also excited to be here with my co-host Charlie Leroy. She's a 10-year-old prodigy, and she's the CEO and founder of Charlie Designs. It's really crazy what she does. She's only 10 years old, and every single piece of clothing that she makes is by hand. And I also want to give a major shout out to our production team. So first off, it's my dad, Jeremy Mcnally. He is the executive producer and showrunner of Teen X. We also have Charlie Leroy. She is a true super mom and powerhouse. And together, her and her daughter, my co-host, Charlie, they're an amazing duo. We have Taneki and Robert Graham with Saying No to Drugs is Cool. You can see them in the top right, just so you guys know. That does not say drugs is cool. So I just want to let you guys know that. And then we have Stephanie Finley with S. Finley Photos and John Sprague with Endlessly Photos. And a huge shout out to Eric Zuley and the Easy Way platform. Without them, the show would not have the potential to reach 500 million homes every single episode. So we're so grateful to have the opportunity to be on their network. And I want to pass it over to my co-host, Charlie Leroy. So Charlie, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and what you do with Charlie Designs?
So I'm a designer and I love inspiring everyone with my designs. I think it's really amazing that I can share all of my designs with so many people in the world.
Yeah, definitely. Fashion is like an art, and every piece of clothing that you make, you do it completely by hand. What's your favorite part about designing the clothes? Creating them.
Well, I like doing the whole entire thing. But one of my favorite parts of designing is drawing it out.
Is it difficult? Like what's the process that goes into like drawing that out? Do you do it by hand? Like do you see it in your head and then it's just like, let me write this down? Or
Well, I start sketching it out first. Well, sometimes I start choosing the fabrics, then I think about how to design it. Or sometimes I just start sketching and then I find the design that I want to put on it.
Oh, that's awesome. So do you have any like specific places like you typically find your ideas or inspirations, like TV shows, etc.?
No, it just kind of pops into my head.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's I wish I could do that. It is really like a talent. A lot of people can do that, especially at 10 years old. How old were you when you originally started designing clothes?
I was 6 years old.
Oh, that's crazy. That's young. I remember when I was 6. I don't know what I was doing. But yeah, so today we have a very special guest joining us, Andie Monet. She is the CEO of Billionaire Women Rising. She's an accomplished entrepreneur, advisor, and a media strategist. She's had a proven track record of helping companies from Fortune 500 companies, nonprofits, influencers, just to grow their impact, and a lot of other stuff she'll be talking about in this interview. She's worked with top leaders, change makers, and emerging brands, and she's shown her passion for empowering others and driving meaningful results. So we're so honored to have you here, Andie. Welcome to our show.
Thank you. I'm super excited. I'm always excited to help teens and youth empowerment and, courage, motivation, inspiration, anything that I can contribute.
Awesome. Yeah. So, you've worked with Fortune 500 companies, nonprofits, a lot of top influencers. What inspired you to really start advising at the level that you do now? And did you ever imagine that your work could reach so many people?
So yes and no. And I will say this really briefly is that, when a lot of children are about 5 or 6 years old, about the time Charlie started her designs, which is amazing, crazy. People asked me what I wanted to do. And I said, well, I'm going to change the world. And they said, what does that mean? And I said, I'm going to solve world hunger and create world peace and, all that fun stuff. And so while I didn't think I would be in this way now, everything I do is based on that. Everything is based on love and making a difference. And in a lot of ways, that's employment. And in a lot of ways, that's consulting. And in a lot of ways, that's mentorship. And right now it's with TV channel, we have a TV channel network, we have a software company, but even though on the top, in the front, that looks like businesses, really, it's all really getting back to the communities.
That's awesome. And, everything she said is true. The work she's done helping Relief Alliance, me and my father's nonprofit organization, she's done a lot of impact she's made throughout the world. And, I'll pass it off to you, Charlie. Do you have any questions you want to ask Andie?
Yeah, I do have one. What is a good age for kids to learn more?
Oh, literally almost any age. I mean, 2 years old even. When my son was about maybe 4 or 5, one of the lessons that I think is important, and not everybody has to agree with me, is everybody has a job. I have a job as a mom, or I have a job as running a business or nonprofits, and he has a job, and his money has a job, and his money's job is to make more money, which means investing. We talked about stock market, real estate. We talked about credit scores, bankruptcies. I mean, we talked about a lot. And while it may not all make sense at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, it's something that will always be in the back of their mind.
Yeah. So, here on Teen X, we always highlight young leaders, like Charlie and me, for example. What is one piece of advice that you could give to teens or even younger adults that want to start their own brand, business, or even movement?
There's really just one underlying theme that I believe in, which is nobody can stop you but you. And you don't have to be an adult to do it. I mean, I think a lot of children, because they're children, they don't think that they can make a difference in the world. They don't think that they can create something amazing or impact the world or even earn income. And you really can. I mean, my son had a best-selling book at the age of 9, and 3 actually. And Aiden, you're helping homeless communities at 16, and earlier than that. And Charlie's making a difference at 10. I mean, it's really, I think that we grow up with these not only myths, but also what we want to do. And you don't have to have the answer immediately. You can just try something, and it doesn't work, try something else. I think there's a lot of trying and see what happens. And that's why we all sort of come together in these communities for children, so that we can give them opportunities and leadership and motivation to just see what.
Oh yeah, well that's
One.
Well, that's such an inspirational answer, Andie. I really appreciate that. We got to get into our commercial break, so we'll get back to that right in a couple minutes.
When disaster strikes, it doesn't just take homes. It takes safety and it takes hope.
Aiden and I, we've stood side by side with families that have lost everything in one moment and became homeless. All it takes is one act of kindness to change everything for them.
And that's why me and my dad started Relief Alliance, to help individuals overcome their toughest moments.
But we can't do it alone. There's families out there right now that need your help.
And for the price of 2 cups of coffee, you can provide a family food, clothes, water, and shelter every single month. Donate today at reliefalliance.org.
That's reliefalliance.org. Please be the hope that a family needs tomorrow. Thank you.
EZedway Interactive. Start connecting the EZedway. Are you ready to connect like never before? Introducing the EZedway Interactive app, your ultimate social solutions network. Whether you're looking to network, collaborate, or simply share ideas, EZedway makes it easy to engage with like-minded individuals and organizations. Discover innovative solutions, join exciting discussions, and expand your horizon, all in one powerful platform. Don't miss out on the future of social networking. Download EZedway Interactive now and unlock endless possibilities.
Welcome back, everyone, to Teen X. If you're just tuning in, we've been talking to our amazing guest, Andie Monet, about her journey as an entrepreneur, advisor, and media strategist. We've already covered a lot just in the past couple minutes, and we're going to dive into even more insights and advice for young leaders, just like you guys watching. So Andie, to get back into what you were saying about the youth and inspiration, I totally agree with you. A lot of the youth, they're scared of judgment or to feel stupid just because they're young, and that's got to be a stereotype that really has to be changed, because a lot of adults, they kind of tell the kids to like shut up and listen, if you know what I mean, and they're always scared to speak out, and that's a thing that Teen X is trying to teach the youth to do.
Yeah, I love that, because, the reality is that not every household is supportive and empowering to children. And even the ones that are, that we can, my biggest lesson for myself is I didn't really realize how powerful a child can be. And so my first one, I wasn't as empowered, as much of an empowered parent as I was a second time around. And so I learned a lot as a parent. And so it's not that we don't want our children to be empowered or amazing or, be the leader for them, but we just don't always think of what's possible. And sadly, some of us don't always think that our children are ready, but really they are. And so even the other side of that are households that don't have that support. And so that's why I think the Teen X is really important. That's why I think career days or whatever that you can get children involved in, that could be the mustard seed to something so much greater in their life that you may never even find out how important it is to them.
God, I love that answer, Andie. That's so inspirational. And I'm going to pass it right over to Charlie. Charlie, do you have any more questions to ask Andie?
So for kids or teens, even young adults, where can we find help, and how do we find it?
That's a hard one, Charlie. I would like to say that there's, a community in everywhere that can do that, but that's one of the things that I'm doing. That's one of the things I know Teen X is doing, and we just have to do more. I mean, you can never do enough. And so whether it's in your local community or your local county, or making it more national or statewide, like everything we do is to make that difference. And so as long as you're following one of those organizations, they'll be able to help you in reaching the other organizations. In fact, I'm in Texas right now, and I'll be in Utah tomorrow, and I'm meeting with a bunch of teens, and it's the first time they would hear about me, and that's okay, because every little bit counts.
Yeah, definitely. Andie, many people see all of your achievements today, but no one really sees the behind the scenes challenges that you face. What's one of the toughest things that you've had to overcome in your career, and how did you overcome it?
In my career or currently?
Just currently, in general, throughout your life.
Well, I think I could say a lot, but I really think that anybody can be overwhelmed with something that they don't understand, or they don't agree, or things don't always go perfectly well every single day, whether you're a child or an adult, right? And so as a parent, what is really, really, really important to me, no matter how many families I help or communities I help or countries that I help, my biggest priority are my children, and to make sure that they feel that they're first, no matter what I'm doing. And that just takes a lot of communication and a lot of effort, because I'm out of town, or I'm on a business meeting, or something's always going on with work, but I just need to make sure that I make time for them, and that they hear from me, hear in my words and in my attention span and in my being present with them, that they're more important than anything else in the world, regardless of what I'm doing in my life. And that just takes a lot of effort.
It does. And a lot of parents really don't understand that. Like, it can just be eating dinner with your kid, and that has such an impact in their life. It can even improve their confidence, like feel like they're more wanted. There's so many things that impacts parents being in their lives. Charlie, I'll pass it over to you again. Do you have another question for Andie?
What inspires you to do this?
So this is just where I come from in my life. Is the only reason that I can love people the way that I love them is because God loves me, and then I show up in that way. And so I do this not for me, but for the glory of God, which is really hard for some people to hear. But the fact is that my life changes because I accepted love in my life. And lots of great things happen, lots of opportunities happen, lots of, great achievements. And it's not about for me personally, but it's about how I can give back because of those achievements. And I go to Africa every.
Andy, I'm sorry to cut you off, but your audio is a little like shaky right now. It sounds like you're underwater. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No.
No, we can't hear you at all. Oh. No, we can't. I can kind of read your lips. So, Charlie, how you liking the interview so far? You learned anything like inspiring?
Well, everything is inspiring to me, but
oh yeah,
I can always learn more by interviewing others.
Oh yeah, Andie's great. She's done so much in her life, and the stuff that she's saying, really everyone should take in, not just us teens, but even adults. A lot of inspiration. Especially even parents. Like the thing that she said about just putting an effort to be with your kids, even if it's just a little bit. That's so important, and everything else she's saying. It's great being able to interview her, and yeah. Oh, well, welcome back, Andie. Oh, you're muted. Oh, there we go. Can you hear her, Charlie?
I can.
There we go.
Now?
Yeah.
Yay!
Awesome. Perfect.
I am an IT rock star. Don't forget it. Oh, I'm kidding.
Very inspirational. Awesome. So, I have another question for you, Andie. So with such diverse portfolio of clients, from startups to Fortune 500 companies to whatever companies you advise, how do you stay focused and maintain creativity while still driving results for these businesses?
One of the biggest things is you have to have a team. It makes things a lot easier because you're not trying to do everything yourself. And if you are doing things yourself, if there's a method that keeps you organized, that's going to make a big difference. So for me, I do have a team. I can delegate. My fun place is business development. How do I make a difference? What does that look like? How do I develop it? And then once I get that going, whether it's with a collaborator or a partner or just myself, then I can sort of delegate all the details out to it. I mean, whether it's I know with Relief Alliance, we were talking about a private island Belize fundraiser for Relief Alliance, and working out all the details. But eventually, we'll have a team to help with the day-to-day stuff. And so, being organized and having a team—that's really the answer.
I totally agree with that. Especially, having a team is one of the most important things we've realized. If you're trying to run a business, you can't be in like the little weeds of the company. You got to actually spearhead it. And it's so hard to do all that stuff when you don't have a team and it's just a couple people. So yeah,
and you also have to trust people too. I mean, if you're going to have somebody help you, let them help you. That is a really common mistake with people is they just start micromanaging. And if you're going to do that, then why give it out anyway? Then why delegate it to somebody if you don't trust them to do it?
Or they see it as a competition within their own business. That's another big thing a lot of people struggle with. So yeah, Charlie, we have to go into another commercial break, guys. We will be right back in a couple minutes. Thank you.
Let me make your next outfit so together we can make a difference. Changing the world one dress at a time. I love to inspire people of all ages to find their own gifts and talents, to love themselves for who they are. Our uniqueness is what makes us special. I love to make custom pieces for special occasions. Proceeds from sales helps me help others. I'm the founder and CEO of my own nonprofit, Charlie Designs a Whole New World.
Good game.
You will get the most reward with the GOAT 14 million. You will get the most reward.
Oh man, I love that commercial every time I see it. So welcome back everyone to Teen X. If you're just tuning in, we have a couple more minutes left. We've been talking to Andie Monet, about her journey as, a businesswoman. So we got a couple more questions to ask her before we let her go. But so Charlie, do you have any more questions before Andie hops off?
No, I don't think so.
Awesome. Well, Andie, it was such a pleasure having you on here. I really appreciate you taking the time to hop on TNX today. I loved everything you said. I agreed with everything you said, and I hope everything continues going well with you.
Thank you. No, always an honor, always a pleasure, and always exciting to be, make a difference where I can make a difference and see you guys thrive in your amazing media and with your clothing designs and all of the things that you guys are achieving.
Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day. And bye, Andie. So Charlie, how'd you like the interview? How was it?
Well, it felt great. I really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, this is only the second episode. We're just gonna keep getting more and more amazing guests. And so, Charlie, I want to ask you, what did Andie say anything that surprised you or make you think differently about leadership?
She said pretty much what I already know, but since she said it in a different way, it made me think of it differently.
Yeah, definitely. Always a new perspective can make you change the way you think. I love what she was talking about with teens also like preteens not really believing in themselves and not thinking that they have a voice to really step up. And that's one of the biggest things we're trying to teach people on here on TNX. So if anyone watching, if you want to get involved, or any parents watching and you want your kids to get involved, please feel free to reach out. You can go to reliefalliance.org. If someone can put up the link for that on the screen, I don't know if we have it, but yeah, I'd love to get more people involved. And yeah. So, did any advice that Andie said, could help any teams? Help any? Oh, let me repeat that question. Sorry, that was horrendous. What advice from Andie do you think will help other teens that are watching?
Well, being a leader is hard, but not impossible, is what I learned from today.
Oh, definitely. People don't really understand how much it takes to run a business, especially when you're starting off or even like a year or two in. You really got to build your foundation. And that's one of the biggest things we're even learning with our businesses. Foundation really has to come first. You can't do all these crazy big things when you don't have all your little nitty gritty stuff in place, and just build out a team. That's one of the things Andie said is teamwork is one of the most important things, because as a business owner and a business with the co-founder of Leaf Alliance and co-founder of All Strategy Media, and building out a team is one of the most important things we can do, because we can't be focused on the little itty bitty stuff of the business. So yeah, that's one of the biggest things Andie, I think, inspired me and maybe even listeners. So yeah. So I want to ask you a couple more questions about your business, Charlie. I love what you do, and you did acting too. What are some of the hardest challenges that you think you faced in your acting career at such a young age?
Well, I memorized 11 pages of script in 3 days.
Are you serious? Oh man, yeah. That I can't even memorize like 5 lines of stuff in 3 days. So congratulations to you. What's your favorite thing that you've done, or like favorite show, or I don't know what they're called in fashion, but what's the favorite thing you've done in fashion?
I think, well, I love all of the shows I've done.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to pick a favorite.
Yeah. Any like do you have any ones that were the hardest, like stuff that you didn't have a lot of time for, but you still like stuck out and created all the clothing? Oh, actually, before you answer that, I have a question. Do you create new clothing per event, or do you have like a bunch of clothing and then like you disperse it from like event to event?
Well, it depends. Sometimes I do both at the same time, but I do design more things at least twice a year.
Oh crap, that's awesome. How long does it typically take to to design something, like from the start, from writing it out, like drawing it out, to actually like creating it fully?
It takes a few hours.
To create everything?
Well, it takes a few days to create everything,
I was gonna...
but for like sketching it out and picking out the fabrics, that usually takes a few hours.
Gosh, that's crazy. That's impressive stuff, Charles. Do you have any advice for anyone watching who would ever want to get into fashion or even acting? Because you do that too.
If you want to do it, just do it. Do your best at whatever you can, and ask for help.
That's, that asking for help, actually, I want to point that out. That's one of the biggest challenges a lot of people face, because a lot of people's egos are really high. Like sometimes I even haven't wanted to ask for help because, I feel like I want to do it. But that's one of the things that I've had to learn. And a lot of other people have to learn too, is just to ask for help when you need it. Even if you think you're gonna look stupid, you're not gonna look stupid. So yeah, definitely. Another thing in that, what you said, if you want to do it, just do it. It's so simple. Well, it's simply said, but a lot of people really, it's hard. It's really hard to just start. Well, it's easy to just start. I don't know where I'm going, guys. I'm kind of like rambling in my head. But let me just pause. We got to go into a commercial break anyway, so I'll see you guys in a couple minutes.
Better Vision for Children, or BVC, is on a mission to protect what matters most: the gift of sight. Every year, thousands of children and teens go undiagnosed with vision problems that can lead to struggles in school, low self-esteem, or even permanent loss of eyesight. But with early eye screenings, we can change their future. Imagine a child who can't see the board in class, or a teen who feels left behind, when all it would take is a simple screening to put them on a path to clarity, confidence, and opportunity. Tonight, your support means more than just a donation. It means a child gets to read their first book clearly, play without barriers, and see the world with hope. Together, we can prevent vision loss before it's too late. Let's give these children the brighter future they deserve.
When disaster strikes, it doesn't just take homes. It takes safety and it takes hope.
Aiden and I, we've stood side by side with families that have lost everything in one moment and became homeless. All it takes is one act of kindness to change everything for them.
And that's why me and my dad started Relief Alliance, to help individuals overcome their toughest moments.
But we can't do it alone. There's families out there right now that need your help.
And for the price of 2 cups of coffee, you can provide a family food, clothes, water, and shelter every single month. Donate today at reliefalliance.org.
That's reliefalliance.org. Please be the hope that a family needs tomorrow. Thank you.
Join the fastest growing community of professionals on the internet with OWL. Access new networks and otherwise unreachable professional contacts through the one-on-one call feature on the app. Scroll through the list of available professionals and join them for a quick call to build rich connections, expand invaluable relationships, and to broaden your professional landscape without needing lofty referrals. OWL. We bring vetted pros to your doorstep 24/7 on demand. Join our community by signing up at owl.com today.
Welcome back to Teen X, everyone. We have a couple minutes left, and before I get into the ending, I just want to point out the commercial that just happened. Ow, it's such an amazing networking app. I've been on it for 6-7 months now, and every phone call is a new opportunity for connection and collaboration. So if you're not on there already, please go download and use the code FOOD, and I promise you will not regret it. So yeah, it's just such an amazing episode with you. I'm so happy you were able to hop on here, and thank you, Charlie, for being on here with me. Awesome. But yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. This is our second episode of Teen X, and we're still just getting started. So this is only the beginning of what's to come. And one more time, a huge thank you to our incredible team. My dad, Jeremy Mcnally, executive producer and showrunner. We have Jamie Leroy, Charlie's mom. She's a true super mom and powerhouse. Taniki and Robert Graham with Saying No to Drugs is Cool. We have Stephanie Finley with S. Finley Photos. And lastly, we have John Sprague with Endlessly Photos. So thank you all so much for tuning in. And also another big shout out to Eric Zuli and the Easy Way TV platform for, powering our TV channel. This really wouldn't be possible without you. Thank you so much, everyone, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day.